There's a company based in Vadodara that I think deserves a lot more attention than it's currently getting. Its biggest clients are global pharmaceutical giants, and over the last 12 months, it has quietly transformed from a commodity plastics manufacturer into one of the most interesting healthcare plays in the Indian mid-cap space. I've been researching this one for a while, and today I'm going to walk you through everything: the business model, the financials, the growth thesis, the risks, and the valuation. No hype, just the analysis. Let's get into it. Let's start with the basics. What does this company actually do? At its core, it's a precision injection molding company based in Vadodara, Gujarat. It takes high-performance engineering polymers and turns them into incredibly precise plastic components, medical-grade, pharmaceutical-grade precision. The business has 4 divisions. First, healthcare. This is where all the excitement is right now. They make pen injectors, auto-injectors, and wearable injection devices for major pharmaceutical companies globally. Second, consumer. Think IKEA furniture components, Unilever packaging, real blue-chip global clients. Third, automotive. Precision parts for companies like Honeywell Garrett. Fourth, personal care packaging for global brands. 679 employees. Clients include Sanofi, Teva, IKEA, Fortune 100 companies. Small headcount, massive reach. That efficiency ratio alone tells you something about the quality of this operation. 2 years ago, this was a solid but unremarkable plastics company. Good margins, decent clients, no real edge. Then something shifted. Management made a deliberate, bold bet on healthcare devices, specifically on a category of injectable drug delivery that was about to explode globally. The result was healthcare went from just 19% of total revenue to 42% in a single year. That is not a gradual pivot, that is a transformation, and the market is only beginning to price it in. When a company successfully shifts from a commoditized business into a high-margin, regulated, technology-driven one, that's when real wealth creation happens. To understand why this company's healthcare bet is so powerful, you need to understand GLP-1 drugs. GLP-1 is the class of drugs behind Ozempic, Wegovy, and Mounjaro. These are injectable medications for diabetes and obesity, and the demand for them is growing at a rate that has shocked even the most bullish analysts. Now here's the critical part. This company manufactures the pen injectors that deliver these drugs, and they've built an entire proprietary platform of pens covering insulin and GLP-1. But the patent cliff is the real trend. Semaglutide patents expire in 2026 for emerging markets like Brazil, India, and Canada. By 2032, even the US and EU open up. When generics flood the market, every single generic manufacturer needs a pen injector, and this company is already contracted and ready to supply them. Let's get into the numbers. For the first 9 months of FY26, revenue came in at 754 crores, up 32% year-on-year. EBITDA margin hit 29% for the 9-month period. That is a 720 basis point improvement. For a manufacturing company, that kind of margin expansion in a single year is extraordinary. Net profit up 101%. The company's profit literally doubled in 9 months. And ROCE, return on capital employed, jumped to 38.4%. That's a 1400 basis point improvement. For context, most good manufacturing businesses run ROCE in the 12 to 18% range. 38% is elite territory. Now zoom into Q3 FY26. Revenue 251 crores, up 27%. EBITDA 66 crores, up 43%. PAT 37 crores, up 48%. And healthcare revenue in that single quarter 104 crores, up 139% year-on-year. This is a business firing on all cylinders. Look at the yellow bars on this growth chart. That's the healthcare segment's revenue contribution quarter by quarter. In Q1 FY25, it was 34 crore. By Q3 FY26, it's 104 crore. That's a 3x jump in under 2 years, and the trajectory is still pointing straight up. The green bars show total revenue, consistent, steady growth. What's important to note here is that the consumer segment has been weak. European and US demand softness has dragged on that part of the business. And yet, total revenue is still growing at 32% because healthcare is growing so rapidly. As the healthcare mix continues to grow, the overall business quality improves because healthcare commands dramatically better margins than consumer products. You're essentially watching a business re-rate itself in real time. This is what separates a good business from a great business. Let's talk about the moat. First, regulatory lock-in. When a pharmaceutical company files a new drug with the regulator, they have to specify the exact delivery device. If they want to change the pen injector vendor later, they need to refile with the regulator. That process takes years and costs millions. Once this company is specified in a filing, that contract is essentially permanent. Second, customer lock-in. They already have 14 to 15 global pharma clients contracted for GLP-1 devices. Sanofi, Teva, these are not companies that switch vendors casually. Third, capacity first mover advantage. While competitors are still trying to figure out the technology, this company is already scaling to 150 million units per year globally. Let's talk about where this company is going. On the domestic front, 2 new high-speed production lines are being commercialized by July 2026, each with 25 million units of annual capacity. Total Indian capacity reaches 80 million units per year. Capital expenditure for FY26 is 125 crore, mostly directed at this expansion. But that's just the beginning. The company is building a brand new facility in Abu Dhabi, UAE. Investment of 300 to 350 crore rupees. Capacity of 75 million pen injectors per year. Target operational by Q4 FY28. Why the UAE? 2 reasons. Proximity to European and Middle Eastern pharma clients, reducing logistics friction significantly. And second, risk mitigation. The company actually lost a major European contract in the past because the client was worried about supply chain concentration in India. The Abu Dhabi plant eliminates that concern entirely. Add it up, India 80 million plus UAE 75 million, 155 million units per year by FY28. No other Indian company is anywhere near this capacity in this segment. One of the clearest signals that a business is genuinely improving is sustained margin expansion. And this company has delivered it. Look at the chart. In Q1 FY25, EBITDA margin was 17.5%. Solid but nothing special. By Q1 FY26, it had jumped to 29.8%. The 9-month average for FY26 stands at 29%. Why is this happening? 2 reasons. 1. Mix shift. As healthcare grows as a percentage of revenue, the overall margin profile improves. The healthcare division alone runs at 31.8% EBITDA margin. Consumer is lower, so every rupee of revenue that shifts toward healthcare pushes the blended margin up. 2. Operating leverage. Fixed costs stay roughly flat as volume scale. That means incremental revenue drops disproportionately to the bottom line. And on the balance sheet, debt to equity is down to just 0.3 times from 0.4 times. The company is becoming more profitable and less leveraged simultaneously. That's a very healthy combination. Now, is this stock expensive? Yes, at face value it is. A TTM PE of around 53 times looks steep when peers like Phenolics trade at 24 times and Time Technoplast at 21 times. But those are commodity plastics companies. This company is operating in a completely different category. A 38.4% ROCE, 29% EBITDA margin, patented medical device business growing revenue at 32% and profit at 101% should not trade at the same multiple as a commodity plastics manufacturer. The premium is warranted. The question is not whether the stock is expensive in absolute terms. The question is whether the growth justifies the premium. At current trajectory, earnings are growing fast enough to bring the PE down meaningfully over the next 12 to 12 months. In other words, growing into the valuation. Analyst consensus gives it a 12-month average target of Rs 3,526, about 38% above current price. High estimate is Rs 4,000. All 3 covering analysts see buy. That said, expensive stocks have no margin of safety. If any quarter disappoints, the correction will be sharp. Let's analyze the risks of this stock. Risk 1. Valuation. At 53 times earnings, this stock is priced for perfection. One disappointing quarter could send it down 20 to 30% fast. Risk 2. Oral GLP-1 alternatives. Wegovy tablets and Eli Lilly's Orforglipron are coming to market. If patients and doctors shift meaningfully toward oral formats, the injectable delivery device market could face long-term volume pressure. Risk 3. Execution on new capacity. The new high-speed production lines had a 30% rejection rate during internal qualification. Risk 4. Consumer segment drag. The consumer business is still 49% of revenue and it declined 13% year-on-year in Q3 FY26. Risk 5. Price erosion. Large pen injector contracts are seeing 10 to 15% price compression in year 1. Management expects stabilization, but that needs to be proven in the numbers. what is the chart telling us? The 52-week range is 1460 rupees to 2799 rupees. Current price around 2577 rupees, about 9% below the 52-week high. The stock has recovered roughly 75% from its annual low. That's a strong recovery. The 200-day moving average is holding as support. The stock is trading above it, which confirms the long-term uptrend is intact. Shorter-term moving averages show some consolidation, which is actually healthy after a big run. Technical sentiment from most moving average-based systems, strong buy. In terms of volume, April 2026 saw a notable 10% single-day jump, accompanied by institutional accumulation. Small-cap world fund stake increase confirms that smart money is not selling into this move, they are buying it. Key levels to watch: resistance at the 52-week high of 2799 rupees. A clean break above that with volume would be very bullish, with the next target being the 3180 to 3526 analyst target range. Now the company we've been analyzing is Shaily Engineering Plastics Limited, NSE Shaily, a company that most people still associate with plastic furniture components for IKEA, but which has quietly and deliberately transformed itself into India's most serious global medical device manufacturer. How many of you guessed it before this reveal? Drop it in the comments. And if this is the first time you're hearing about Shaily, share this video with someone who needs to know about it. As always, this video is purely for educational purposes. Please do your own research, consult a qualified financial advisor, and invest based on your own risk profile. If you found this useful, like the video and subscribe. See you in the next video, and thanks for watching.